Hi Year 3, it is Wednesday the 13th of May, the third day of our poetry unit for English. I hope you enjoyed your food poems yesterday, performing them and writing them. I certainly did. We're going to continue with the Werewolf Club Rules today by Joseph Coelho. So first of all, our learning objectives are I can listen to and discuss a range of poetry. So we're going to listen to a few of the poems today and talk about those. And then I can recognise different forms of poetry. So that's thinking about couplets and stanzas and verses. And also we're going to think about, again, rewriting in the style of Joseph Coelho. So, without further ado, there's quite a few poems in this book which are about school. Okay, school is something that I am certainly missing a lot. And I'm sure that you are too. So hopefully it'll be nice to read about school and think about school together. So the first one I'm going to read to you is called Golden Time. Okay, it's on page 47 if you happen to have this book. Otherwise, just sit back and listen. Golden time, jewelled minutes and silvered seconds. Golden time, a diamond clock with ruby numbers. Golden time, a free hour, doing what I please. Golden time, hands clasped on mouth, catching laughter with a new friend. Golden time, the inhale of breath as the idea chimes. Golden time, a room of beaming faces, every heart in sync. And that poem's about being kind of excited about golden time, isn't it? And it's something that we find exciting if we have golden time in school. So have a little look at this poem. Here it is. Okay, this one here. So hopefully you can see that it's made up of 6 verses, and each one has 3 lines in it. Okay, now this poem, it doesn't rhyme, but it uses something else. Okay, so just have another listen. I won't read all of it, but just the first part. Golden time, jewelled minutes and silvered seconds. Golden time, a diamond clock with ruby numbers. Golden time, a free hour doing what I please. Pause the video and have a think. What is it that we can hear? What's the technique the poet has used in this poem? Okay, so hopefully you've noticed the repetition. Each verse starts with golden time, then it explains something about it, golden time, okay, and kind of builds up the excitement of what golden time is, using jewelled minutes, a diamond clock, so kind of precious and exciting things. Okay, so that's that one. Now we're going to read School Tomorrow, Excuses for Mum. Back at school tomorrow. Not tomorrow, one more day off, please. I'm sick, I'm not ready, I haven't done my homework. We don't do much the first week back. Miss won't mind if I miss one day. My uniform is dirty, I can't remember where the school is. I want to stay home with you. We should spend more quality time together. I need a few more days to grow up. I won't know anyone. They'll all be older. The school fell down during the summer. The school had flooded. The school ran away. The school is still on holiday. I can't go to school tomorrow. My foot hurts. My leg hurts. My arm hurts. My face hurts. My belly hurts. I have heat stroke. I have the plague. I'll stay home and clean and cook. I'll pay the bills, sort out the tax, handle the builders, get the shopping. I won't see my friends. I'll miss that topic about the Romans. I won't find out my results. I won't get to laugh in assembly or joke with Mr. Linden. I won't play football. I won't make a circuit or get to quote Shakespeare. Where's my uniform? So that poem is about, I guess, going back after the summer holidays perhaps and not wanting to go back, but then actually realising that you do love school and you do miss all those things and you do want to go back. So have a look at this one. Okay, there we go. So it's laid out. We've got an opening line, then we've got 6 verses and a closing line. Now, we haven't got any rhyming words. We haven't really got any pattern. We haven't got the same number of lines in each verse or a repetition as such. So this is actually called a free verse poem. So it's kind of, there's no rules as such. The poet's written this in verses as he pleases. And it's really effective, isn't it? I really like this poem. I hope you did too. So the final poem that I'm going to read to you is the one that we're going to do the most work on. Okay, and this one's called Last Day of School. So on page 90 and 91, if you have the book, and it talks about coming back after a school holiday, okay? And this is what we're going to be thinking about. So just have a listen, and listen for the features as well. How could we describe the structure or the form of this poem? Come back taller. Come back with a recipe. Come back stronger. Come back with a story. Come back with something found. Come back with a new word. Come back and astound. Come back with the song of a bird. Come back with a friend. Come back telling a joke. Come back with a new trend. Come back with a thing fixed that was broke. Come back with a beaten fear. Come back knowing a star. Come back with a sphere. Come back with stuff in a jar. Come back with a leaf. Come back pondering a query. Come back with a new belief. Come back spelling out a theory. Come back with a new taste. Come back smelling a pine cone. Come back with something traced. Come back proud at how you've grown. So that's all about how you might change whilst during the summer holidays or a long holiday, and you might come back to school after taller and wiser and with new experiences and new opportunities and new things you've learnt. So that's what it's about. Have a look at it. Okay, so as you can see, there are 6 verses or stanzas, and there are 4 lines in each stanza. There's a copy of this poem on our webpage. Okay, so open it up, pause this video, open up the poem so you too can have a look at that structure. Okay, so hopefully you can see those verses and see how it's laid out. Now, what else do you notice? Is there another feature or features that the poet has used? Have a little think. Look at each verse in a bit more detail. Come back taller, come back with a recipe. Come back stronger, come back with a story. Come back with something found, come back with a new word. Come back and astound, come back with the song of a bird. What can you notice? Pause the video and have a think. Tell people if they're working with you or just think to yourself. Okay, hopefully you've noticed that, first of all, each line starts with come back. Okay, so we've got repetition, poets use repetition, but also we've got some rhyming, haven't we? We've got some rhyming couplets. That is, the first and the third line rhyme, the last words in those lines, and the second and the fourth. So if we listen to verse 3, come back with a friend, come back telling a joke. So 1 and 2, they don't rhyme, but come back with a new trend, which rhymes with friend, and come back with a thing fixed that was broke. Broke rhymes with joke. So lines 1 and lines 3 rhyme, and lines 2 and lines 4 rhyme. And that's called rhyming couplets. Okay, so this poem is using rhyming couplets and also repetition. So that is the format and the structure. Okay, and we've talked about what the poem is about. So what we're going to do over the next 2 days, we've got today's lesson and tomorrow's lesson. So keep any of the work that you do today. We're going to write our own version of this poem. But rather thinking about how we're going to change and come back after a holiday, perhaps, we're going to think about how we're going to come back after lockdown. Okay, now I'm really hoping it's not too long and I get to see you all soon. So we're thinking along those lines, come back taller. I expect lots of you are going to be coming back taller. Come back with a recipe. I've seen some of your baking. I've seen banana bread, I've seen curries, I've seen all sorts. So I'm sure some of you will be coming back with a new recipe. Come back stronger. Now that could mean physically stronger, maybe you've been doing lots of PE, lots of fitness, or it could mean you're feeling quite strong, you've been feeling stronger. Come back with a story. I'm sure you've all heard new stories or told new stories throughout this time. So lots of these ideas you can probably borrow for your own poem. But the first thing today is you're just going to make a list of things that you're going to be able to include. So during lockdown, new things you've learnt, new things you've been able to do, maybe new feelings you've had, ways that maybe you've changed, maybe your hair's got longer, okay? Think about all these different things, new opportunities, new ideas you've had, all these different things, new adventures you've been on. Just make a list of them, okay? Jot them all down, and then we're going to use them tomorrow to put together our come back after lockdown poem, okay? So just before you do that, I have got a list for you of things that I feel that I've accomplished or learnt, and ways that maybe I've changed a little bit over lockdown so far. Okay, so I've written planted new vegetables in the garden. I ran a new long distance. I've baked a new recipe. I've missed year 3. I've organised parts of my house. I've painted Daisy's bedroom, so I've painted a bedroom. I've spent more time with my family. I've built some decking in the garden. I've learnt a new game. I've found woods to explore near my house. I've had new adventures there. I've painted lots of pictures with Daisy. I've built a den with Daisy. I've made a water slide in the garden for Daisy. I've missed my friends and family, and you guys, of course. I've become a YouTuber with all our school videos. And my hair's grown. Got a little bit darker at the top as well. Okay, so they are some things that I feel that I've learnt and changed and kind of accomplished throughout this time. And I want you to make a list of your things, okay? I've got quite a few on there. If you aim for maybe 10 things, that would be a really good start, because then tomorrow when we put them in a poem, you'll have lots of ideas. You could do more things, okay? You could do less. Ask your family, say, what, if you're not sure, say, what have I learned? What have I done? How have I changed? Okay, and write down as many ideas as you can, but try for about 10, and then keep them really safe, because you're going to need those tomorrow. If you want anything else to do for English today, if you finish that and you're still in the mood, then you could practice performing that poem from yesterday, your food poem, if you didn't get round to it. Or you can go onto the website of Joseph Coyler, which is linked on the webpage, and just explore, read some of his other poems, read about him, okay? Listen to what he's saying about writing poetry. There's lots of things on there. So a few more things to do after you've written out your list if you want to, okay? And I'll see you ready to write our poems tomorrow.